I'm not gonna lie, I was really upset like everybody else whenever we lost Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow, at the very beginning of the whole entire Absolute Universe. But I'm not gonna lie, whoever the hell is taking up the mantle of the Green Arrow, this guy's kind of terrifying. And welcome back to the dissection table. Here we take the latest video game, trailers, comics, movies, and more, and break them down bit by bit. And yes, at long last, after all this time, after all this waiting, yes, it is at long last, it is finally time. Absolute Green Arrow issue number 1. And before kicking things off, if you're new around here, please make sure to check in to become a patron of the Asylum, because we're going to be covering all of Absolute Green Arrow like we've been covering every single issue of Absolute Batman. And if you check out the description and the comments right over here, you'll find links that'll lead you not only to the YouTube wing of the Asylum, where we have a dedicated playlist of all the coverage and videos we've made on Absolute Batman, and in due time, a complete dedicated playlist to all the issues of Absolute Green Arrow, again over on the YouTube wing of the Asylum. And also down there, you'll also find a link that leads you to the Kick wing of the Asylum, where we're trying to get the Asylum over there to grow just a little bit more. We really appreciate your support over there, where we try to go live every single day, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So now, without further ado, right out that gate, we see obviously this very wealthy individual talking and complaining about this individual by the name of Hammond. DC comic book fans are probably already know exactly who that is right out that gate. But this guy's complaining, and he's mumbling to himself about how Queen took his company and how Hammond could have let him watch something after giving him a hell of a lot of money. And then he's just rambling on. But then, headshot. Yeah, his security was just standing there like a statue. Perfect target right there. And he gets got. Now, Rich Buddy right here, he makes a break for it. But as he makes his way out into this room where there were a lot of people who were alive, come to find out a lot of those people that were alive, yeah, they kind of got... Now, this guy's last name is revealed by this unfortunate soul, calling him by the last name of Mr. Slade, and he tells him to stay back. And he does get a little closer, and come to find out this person he managed to survive a, arrow shot, but unfortunately, clearly there's something special about these arrows and the effects that they can cause on a human. Yikes. Now, Buddy right here, Mr. Slade, he's in full-blown panic mode. He's like, buddy, I don't know what you want, name it. It's like yours. Obviously, the stereotypical bad guy's back against the wall. He doesn't know what to do. He just makes offer after offer. And there's only one thing that this guy wants: to make an example of him. Uh-oh. Fast forward after that terrifying incident, we come to find out that this guy's name was Jubal Slade, and he was actually the co-founder of the Arrowverse tech app. This was the app that was originally owned by, you guessed it, Oliver Queen. And this guy was kind of like the tech head behind the whole entire design of the app, but this guy and Oliver Queen parted ways when certain allegations came out against this guy. And very reminiscent of what we see happen here in real life, not to get too overly, politicized here or anything. Kind of similar to what we see here in reality. When we know someone is guilty, but the mainstream media kind of covers it up, it's kind of being reflected here in the Green Arrowverse. Very grounded, very realistic in the sense that, sure, the media is saying that these were allegations against this guy, but everybody and their brother knows this guy was guilty as sin. And even after a year after we lost Oliver Queen in the Absolute Universe, now this all happens a whole entire year later. Now, Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, is gone, and now this former partner of his, when it came to the founding of his corporation, this app again, now that guy's unalive too. Now everybody's like, there's a bigger story going on here. Now we switch back over, and there's all this interesting dialogue going on about how people basically become desensitized to the fact of that they are in fact humans, and that we just kind of become just natural overall assholes, and that if people are given the opportunity to take from a cookie jar, they're gonna do it. Basically, there's a rot whenever it comes to the Absolute Universe. And Oliver Queen actually did pick up on this, but this whole entire fact about the universe is something that this particular character is kind of thinking about, that people just naturally are kind of assholes whenever you give them the opportunity to make way too much money than what they could ever possibly need. Basically, money corrupts. And this is something that this particular character is thinking about, but this woman isn't just any particular woman. This is Diana Lance, aka Black Canary. And in the Absolute Universe, Black Canary, she doesn't have her sonic scream, but she still is a now former MMA professional fighter turned professional security guard for the social and celebrity elites. And she just got suspended because somebody decided to push her a little too far. Now, as it is throughout the mainstream DC comic book universe and continuity, yes, Diana Lance and Oliver Queen were at a time an actual thing. They were dating, they were together, but unfortunately, this is a whole year after his passing, and now she's struggling like anybody would. Not only has she been struggling throughout the whole entire year since Oliver Queen's passing, she lost him, and he was a good guy. Sure, he had his flaws, but he was still a good guy. But more importantly, even worse than that, Diana Lance is struggling financially. I think we can all relate, because unfortunately for her, the only way to actually pay the bills, and more importantly, pay for her father, whose insurance only covers half of the cost of what he needs in order to stay alive, she has to do these very uncomfortable jobs where she has to, again, play security for these really, really terrible people. Case in point, and this is a perfect segue to where we actually get where it's revealed of what Black Canary has to do in order to survive and to also keep her father alive. Moving on to this, where Diana Lance has a little sit down with this guy by the name of Malcolm right here, and yeah, this guy's gonna set up basically a whole entire like little sit down between Black Canary and her future employer. Long story made short, there's this scumbag by the name of Reese Tyler who is in charge of a whole entire pharmaceutical company. Now, that pharmaceutical company and what they were peddling basically, unfortunately, increased the unfortunate passing of a hell of a lot of people because the things that they were pushing out there were very addictive. Tyler, specifically the man, the CEO himself, Reese Tyler, filed for bankruptcy, and he got bailed out by a hell of a great rich scumbag as well. And this guy's name might sound familiar. That guy being Hector Hammond. Now, if you know DC Comics, you probably know who that is. Now, we'll get back to them in just a second, but this guy right here, who's basically setting up this whole entire sit down between Diana Lance, aka Black Canary, and her future employers, basically goes on to ask her, do you know the guy that got at the very beginning? That guy being, again, Jubal Slade, who is, again, the co-founder of the whole entire app that Oliver Queen was going to be making. That app was also something that really would have been useful here in reality. A means by which for the people to actually engage in far more greater forms of trading and exchanging of money without there even being like a bare minimum cost. Basically upsetting the powers that be whenever it comes to the lower class, whenever it comes to any kind of economy, especially what would have been the equivalent here in the States. Meaning people would have had a better chance of climbing up out of poverty. Unfortunately, Jubal Slade had a hell of a lot of different horrifying allegations brought up against him, and our brand new Green Arrow did all types of very terrifying things to him, and basically sent a calling card in the form of the original logo of that app that belonged to Oliver Queen, turning the actual logo of the app onto Jubal Slade's face. When it comes to Hector Hammond and his other pal right here, basically, long story made short, they ran this whole entire like list of back checks on everybody, and this is the ideal person, aka Diana Lance, to not only protect Hector Hammond because he's apparently on the radar of this unfortunate unaliver who took out Jubal Slade at the beginning, and more than likely he's going to be going after Hector Hammond. And like I said, Black Canary, she's the most ideal person to not only protect him and his buddy, but also track down this mysterious vigilante. And let's just say Black Canary, Diana Lance, she doesn't have to worry about finding this brand new Green Arrow. This new Green Arrow finds her. Unfortunately, we're crunch on time right here, so we're going to have to break this into official part 2. But if you enjoyed part 1 whenever it comes to the very first issue of Absolute Green Arrow, please make sure to give me a follow, like, and a comment right over here. And definitely make sure you hit that follow right there so I can continue to keep you informed on all things video game trailers, comics, movies, and more. And whenever we post part 2 of the first issue of Absolute Green Arrow today. But again, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope to see y'all in the next one.